Sup gamers, it's Pixx here with the Pixx Show. We started up with a new little podcast, and I figured this time, for our first video, I'd start off with the main theme of what this channel is going to be about. It's some GW2, and my little Mesmer PvP video that I've done up. That isn't that fantastic because I'm not that good of a player. And I think it's going to be one in a sea of millions of videos you're going to be seeing over the next few weeks of people uploading their various PvP exploits, but what the hell, give it a go. See if you enjoy it, and we'll make some more in the meantime. Anyway, now, to start off, I'm going to go through a little bit about what Mesmers are about. I'm not going to go through any specific builds or anything like that, because frankly, that's all going to change anyway. This little duel I'm having at the start is between myself and a ranger on top of the roof, and it was a 1v1 situation for the entirety of the battle. Kind of went backwards and forwards, but I was pretty confident the whole way through that I was going to finish this off. Guy starts burning all his cooldowns, like a something so-and-so, and he eventually gets killed by my sword and torch combo, which is going to be the main weapon set you're going to see throughout this whole video. Now, to start off a little bit about Mesmers, Mesmers in my eyes are sort of like a low DPS, very high maneuverability melee class that does have a lot of ranged utility as well if they need so. They're not exactly designed to do insane burst DPS like you see with the warriors or anything along those lines, nor can they do the huge consistent DPS that rangers pull with their longbows. What you get with Mesmer is exactly what you see right now, is just self maneuverability, and in essence, because of those two facts, you also get an insane amount of survivability as well, depending on how you spec your Mesmer. Now, a lot of people have been criticizing Mesmers as a broken class, that they're terrible, that they're never going to get anywhere, or anything along those lines. I think that's a lot of crap. Mesmers are probably, in one of my eyes, the most fun class, definitely one of the most useful classes, if not probably one of the most powerful one. I think your playstyle is going to play a very big part in how you play a Mesmer when Guild Wars 2 launches, and I think part of the reason why people don't like Mesmers is just from the insane skill cap that comes with the class. It's not like a warrior where it's just your DPS combos are going to be the exact same from day 1 to day 90. Mesmers are a class that's going to constantly evolve. You have a lot of meta-breaking sort of mechanics that haven't even been discovered yet, so when we do start seeing some of the nifty utility features you can get with portal entries or null voids or anything like that, then you're going to start seeing Mesmers come into a class of their own. This particular PvP scenario we're watching right now is just straight after that 1v1 fight, and basically what happened is that everyone started drip feeding into the thing, so it wasn't that impressive or anything along those lines, but it was just showing you that I could pretty much stay there the entire time and not have to worry about jumping in and out of a fight. Mainly because people don't like focusing Mesmers, because it's really irritating to do so because the amount of shatters you can get and images and phantasms, but also due to the fact that I've sort of spec'd this sword torch Mesmer build very heavily towards toughness and precision, so it was more about critting and surviving. Now we're going to transfer into probably one of the, hopefully the best video I've got out of the PvP weekend. This is beta weekend 3 for people who weren't paying attention. Basically it is me versus, well, I would say in the end about a dozen enemies. Obviously not in a 1 versus 1 situation, that would just be stupid. It was basically a situation where we were in the PvP zone in the center of the map, and we basically had to hold off for as long as we could against the red onslaught, and we were able to do so up until, I think this video goes for about 6 minutes. It just shows the survivability you can get with a Mesmer and what kind of potential they have to basically keep around and keep a point contested for as long as possible. So that first trick there is one of the most essential Mesmer skills. I would suggest everyone takes it, which is Blink. Blink is without a doubt the best skill that a Mesmer has. Getting that ability to reposition yourself, even if it's on a utility spell, it's just great. It's on not too big of a cooldown, I think it's 30 seconds, may change between now and launch. But just being able to put yourself in a new situation, either away from people or in right on people's faces if you're playing Sword Torch, which is very important. It's just great to have. I bind it to my E key just to keep it really close to my movement, just in case I need to get an escape and hurry. Now, the great thing about Sword Torch, or melee Mesmers in particular, is the fact that they can offload a fair bit of damage while continuing to do the survivability of classes. Now, this particular spec I have in here was Sword Torch Staff. And I've since changed that. I've decided that for launch I'm going to be going with Sword, Torch, and Greatsword, because while the staff is great for doing, you know, your damage here and there and giving people debuffs and all that crazy stuff. Oh god, look at that warrior DPS. It's not going to be that great in general to keep up the damage. Now, this Mesmer build was sort of designed to do damage. They're not exactly a solo class, but I wanted to do at least some damage. You see me here running away like a total scrub. I'm like, oh wait, no one's chasing me. Better get into the fight. And I get my ass back into the fight. The other really amazing thing about Mesmers is the meditate spells they have, particularly the heal spell and the stun spell. The stun, actually, sorry, I take that back, is an activated passive. The Mesmer Meditate is probably one of the most broken heal spells for the Mesmer, if not one of the most broken heal spells in the game. Being able to pre-charge it, and it only has an 8-second cooldown, and pre-charging it isn't that difficult, particularly considering you can cast it while moving. It's not like you have to be stationary to cast it. So being able to keep it on the move and keep that damage key flowing through is just perfect. Now, with this particular fight, I believe it's a 3v3 situation. I can never tell because of all the Mesmer shades. But the engineer was giving me a lot of strife in this fight. He was just moving around like a boss. And the big issue with the Sword Torch Mesmer is that my main form of DPS, which is, I think it's called Frenzied Strike or something like that. Basically what it does is it's a stationary channel, one of the very few in the game. It does enough DPS, probably wouldn't say tons, but it makes you invulnerable during your casting, but as a downside you can't move, which makes it very difficult. So as a Sword Torch Mesmer, I pretty much take the Signet passive that gives you stun. I'm sorry, I don't have it on top of me, the name eludes me at the moment, but it's basically one of the better signets in the game, and that will pretty much help you get at least one of those channels off every few minutes. Now, this guy was basically trying to lead me to the mines the entire time. I wasn't going to have any of that, so I was basically just waiting for my shades to pop up. And I think you'll see here, one of the great things about having shades in general is that they will blindly run into mines and detonate them for you, like a lovely shade should. And after that, we were basically able to get on top of them and take them down after about a 30-second fight, which was just way too long. And then this rogue basically got on top of her asses straight after that. Now, I've seen some videos of the rogues doing just ridiculous amounts of DPS. I have no idea why those Mesmers were that flimsy. I haven't had the chance to play any stress test weekends, but I can assure you that it's never been that bad for me, so whether that's going to be in launch or not, I don't know. Hopefully they'll nerf thieves a little bit, because while they are meant to be a DPS class, I think doing, you know, your high health bar and 1 hit it's never a good sign for a class balance. Now, I was trying to do something tricky at this stage. I think it was that engineer was going to sit on there. And for some reason, I thought he was going to basically kite us around, so I figured, well, I'll show him. I'll basically try to blink up here, and it took way too much time to get up there. At least it worked, though. I mean, it would have looked stupid if I basically just blinked underneath the ledge. And then, for some peculiar reason, I decided that the turrets were the biggest threat, as opposed to the 3 people running into the team fight at the bottom, and spent about 10 seconds trying to kill them. No idea why, but hell, they're dead now. That's all I had to care about. The fight was still going in our direction. This is still the same contesting for the spot, and I've only needed to evacuate the area once. And that's basically how I play Torch Mesmer PvP, is using your maneuverability to escape the situation when it gets bad. I think here I basically have to run away because it's 3v1. I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to win this. Why would I even bother? I think I blow my elite skill to basically get that extra couple seconds of self, and then I have to use my meditate spell just to keep myself up. After that, I basically legged it from that point. We basically lost it after that, but I believe in the end we were able to take the point back after we take the waterfall and eventually win the game. So that is just a little bit of how I play the Mesmer. I didn't really explain much. I basically just bitched and moaned for 11 minutes, but the whole idea behind the Mesmer in general is that a lot of people are trying to treat it like a burst DPS caster, but there already is one class called that. It's called the Elementals, and if you want to burst DPS or do dots, then you can either play Necro or Elementals. If you do want a sort of roguey self-caster that's going to annoy the crap out of any person that comes near you and basically be a god in team fights, then the Mesmer is definitely the way you want to go. So I'll wrap it up, gentlemen. Thank you for watching this podcast, and we will get some more videos out in the near future for some more tasty GW2, as it is only 6 days away now, and I am so sick of waiting. I will kill babies just to get the game to come out a little bit faster. So hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the flip side.